Hey guys, happy 2020. I wanted to kick off the year sharing my updated planner setup. I'm back here in my Louis Vuitton MM agenda, which is the personal size. I took out all my inserts from 2019, filled it up with fresh new inserts for the new year. And so this flip through will show you how I set up everything in here before the pen. And then in upcoming videos over the next few weeks, I'll show you more in depth the different sections in my planner with the inserts filled out. So I think most of you are familiar with this planner, but just in case you're not, I wanted to show you guys the different views here. Side view, bottom, and spine. And then here's how I set it up. So I apologize in advance for this glare. I'll try to hold this at an angle. So in the front pockets, I did try to put some cards in here, but when I put cards, it really makes the front cover bend a lot. So I took those out, and all I'm keeping in here right now are my favorite sticky flags and sticky notes. And then I have a few business cards in this pocket. And then here on my dashboard, I used this clear business card holder that I found in an old, I think it was a day runner that I found at Goodwill for like, I don't know, $2 literally. And I like finding those things at thrift stores because then you can use the insides. This was in really good condition. So I just use this as my dashboard, and I put in 3 cards that are from our December stationery subscription. And I use that as my dashboard, and I change it out throughout the year. I started with this just for some motivation for the new year, living my best life, focusing on love, hustle, and heart. These are my 3 priorities in life: self, loved ones, and the business. And then I have this gold clip from Sesavi, which holds this business card holder to my first divider, which is my year section. On the back side of that dashboard, I have these 3 cards, which are also from our December stationery subscription. It says vibe, word, and top 3 for the year. And I'll fill these out once I go through and fill out everything in my planner. And then here I have my year at a glance. January through June on the front, July through December on the back. This year at a glance is available in our printable shop on Etsy. I'll link all the shops I mentioned, I'll link them down below. This bundle here is called the Goals Bundle, and it's also available in our printable shop on Etsy. So basically it's a few pages to cover my goals for the entire year. So the first page is just year goals and then bucket list here at the bottom. And then the next page is a year overview. And like I said, in the upcoming videos, I'll show you how I fill all of this stuff out. And then the next page is monthly goals and overview. And the next is weekly goals and weekly overview. And then daily goals and daily overview with just some notes, some space for notes on the back. And then this insert is not in the shop. It's just something I kind of threw together for myself. It's kind of a draft right now, but this is a year tracker, and I have 1 through 12 here for all of the months of the year, and then a blank column here, and this is where I'm gonna put like doctor's appointments, dentist appointments, and all like those kind of health appointments here, so I can keep track of when the last time I made those appointments were. Another idea for this is for like oil changes or anything you need to keep track of that you do a couple of times a year and you want to track it at a glance. So I have this insert, and it's the same on the back. So that's my year section. And then this is my, actually I don't have a tab here because I have these side tabs. This is my month section. And so these dividers are from Cloth and Paper. They're on thick, sturdy, black textured cardstock with gold foil lettering. And I have the whole entire year here, January through December. And in here I have my monthly spreads. These inserts can be found in our shop as well. On the front page is just a place for like an overview of the month's goals and any tasks to do for the month. And then this is what the spread looks like. You have a column here for notes as well as along the bottom. And then on the back side is just a place for notes. And so I have this insert for all the months of the year. And then the next section is my weekly section. And here I have this fold out, which is available in the printable shop. So it's a fold out, and the first page looks like this. It's just the week overview with goals and tasks. Then when you open it up, there's a week overview and 3 lists here. So you can make lists or notes or anything like that. And then when you open it up, you have your week at a glance with a notes column, Monday through Sunday, and dates. You can put your dates up above, so these are undated. And then when you turn it over, the back page is just a place for notes again. This planner pocket is from Sesame. Actually, I forgot to mention these dividers are also from Sesame. They're clear frosted dividers. They're really thin, which I like, so it doesn't bulk up my planner since I have a lot in here. They come blank, and I just put some labels from our shop at the top. So yeah, this planner pocket is also from Sesame. It's made from a very thin cardstock, and I like it again because it doesn't bulk up my planner. But here I will keep receipts for the week that I need to log. So that's all I have in my weekly section, just that weekly fold out and this planner pocket for receipts. And then my next section is my today section, and I have it held together with this clip. This was available in one of our subscription kits. And I use it to mark my days. So any of my past days will be all bundled together, and I'll clip it together with this clip. So when I turn to this divider to the section, it'll go directly to the current day. So I have my daily insert, which is available in the shop. Sorry for the glare. This is another clear pocket page, but this one is from Foxy Fix, and she actually has my favorite pocket pages because they're very good quality and they're crystal clear as opposed to the frosted. I like the crystal clear for this purpose. So it has 2 pockets just on the front, but of course it's clear on the back, so all I do is put 2 sets of sticky notes, and then I can see the front and the back. And what I use this for is for my meal tracking. I have a habit tracker here, a checklist here, and another habit tracker here. These sticky notes are all from our shop, and I'll show you in a future video how I fill those out. And then I have a page for notes. So I wanted to quickly mention that if you look for this insert in our shop, it's not going to look exactly like this. It's going to have this design printed on both sides of the paper. It won't have this grid here because I find that a lot of people said they don't need that extra space, so they prefer, you know, this daily layout on both sides. But I just made these for myself because I do like that extra space for notes. And I usually keep about 1 week's worth of daily inserts in here, and then each week I replace them. So that's my daily section. And then back here I have 3 tabs: health, family, and biz. And if you've been following me for a while, you know that I always plan according to those 3 categories, the 3 priorities in my life, which is health, family, and the shop, basically. So the first section is health, and these inserts, I call it project planning inserts in the shop, but you can use it as a month on 1 page or however you like. I use it to plan out my projects. So for health, I use this top section for menu planning. I use this weekly overview for planning out my healthy habits. On the back, I use this section, which is actually, I should show you guys, this is actually a task list, but I just covered it with a sticky note, and I use this section for tracking health numbers like weight and blood pressure and stuff. And then there's a section for notes. This insert here, I just made this for myself, but basically a big focus for me this year is to track my blood glucose levels. And so I need to track like the different foods that I eat and how it's affecting my blood glucose. So I have a column for food and then testing it 3 times to get the average and stuff. So I have a couple of those inserts in here, and then some blank note paper in the back of that section. The next section is family, and again I have that project planning page here. I use this one for my daughter's school, so this section I use for due dates of projects or if there's any tests and quizzes. And then down here I use this overview for planning out work that she has to do for any projects, so like breaking it down by week. And then here I covered up this task list and I use this to log my volunteer hours and fundraising. And then this section again for notes. So this insert I probably will offer in the shop and I'm super excited about it. I just made this and it's one of those savings challenge inserts, and you've probably seen them. I've seen them, like many different versions of them, but I always felt like the ones that I saw didn't really fit my needs exactly. So what I did is I made a blank one so it's more customizable to each individual's particular needs. So basically how it works is there's 51 weeks here, and then there's a column for how much you're gonna put aside for savings and then a running balance. And then on the back, there's 52 boxes here to enter 52 amounts. So for example, let's say you want to save, you know, $5,000 in 2020 for like an emergency fund or something like that. You can put in any amount you want as long as all of these boxes, when you add them up, equal your goal. So for this example, $5,000. And what I like about this is each week, you know, if I put $100 or $200, some weeks I'm not able to put in that much because of unexpected expenses and stuff like that. So if I put smaller amounts in here, like $25, $50, $100, then on those weeks that it's harder, I can look for those smaller amounts and put that aside instead of a large amount. So you can put from small amounts, like from $25 to bigger amounts, like $500. And then like on a week where you can do those bigger amounts, you can choose that according to your budget that week. So once you choose an amount, you just cross it off here and then you enter it here and then you do your balance. And so once you cross off or highlight all the boxes in this area, you would have reached your goal. And then down here, you can use this for notes or a checklist, but what I'm planning to use it for is to list the different debts I have. And as I save up enough money to cover those debts, I'm gonna be checking them off here. And hopefully by the end of 2020, have most of those, if not all of them, checked off. So I'm super excited about that insert. Look for it coming to the shop very soon. I also created a passwords insert for me, very simple. If you guys want this in the shop, I can put it in the shop as well. But basically in 2020, I want to update all my passwords. And I printed out a few copies because I like to use 1 page per email address. So I have a few email addresses, which I use for different like online accounts and stuff like that. So I'll use 1 side per email address. So that's why I have a few copies in here. And then in the back, I have some extra note paper. And then my last section is business. And again, this project planning page, I use this section for my shop schedule, like releases and sub stuff. And then before I was using this weekly overview for my design schedule, I'm gonna try something new. I'm gonna try to do work batching, and I won't get into it now. I think a lot of you know what that is, but if you guys don't and you want to see how I'm doing it, then I'll show that in a future video. But that's something new I'm gonna try for 2020. And then for this side, I don't know what I'm gonna use it for yet. That's why I just put a blank sticky note over it, and then I leave this open for notes. This insert, I definitely will not be putting in the shop because it's super specific to my needs, and I don't think anybody else would need this insert, but basically it's to log stuff for my monthly subscriptions. These are the kind of things I would write over and over again each month. So I decided why not put it on an insert so it's all there and I just fill in the info each month and I could track it better. So it's just some stuff about, like, you know, if I bought the clip art, how much I paid for it, the packaging and all that for the subscription kits. And then on the back is just the counts, like how many subscribers do I have for each subscription option, how many things do I have to purchase for that subscription, how many things I had to print, and all of that. And then I left a space down here for notes. Here's another one of those project planning pages. I have two in my business section because another huge focus for 2020 is content creation. So I wanted to have a separate project calendar for that, for my like editorial calendar here. I haven't figured out how I'm gonna use this section yet. So I left it blank, and then even on the back, I left it blank for now. And then my notes, I wanted to insert that I can track my monthly income by week. So 4 weeks for a month, and then there's spaces for like 3 different income streams, how much I think I'm gonna make, how much I actually make, and then just tracking that. And then on the back is for expenses. So I'm gonna allot myself an allowance each month, a budget, basically what I can spend on product, supplies, art, you know, all that kind of things. And then I will have that budget here, my allowance, and then, you know, keep track of it here to make sure I stay within that amount, which is something new for me this year. This is another insert that I probably won't put in the shop because it's, again, really specific to me. But this is where I want to track things for the shop, like revenue. So for instance, this chart, this is like a chart. It was for Shopify revenue. I covered up the side columns because it has some personal information, but along the bottom is numbers 1 through 12 for each month of the year. And then along the side are dollar amounts. And at the top is my goal dollar amount that I want to bring in for 2020. So each month, at the end of the month, I will like put a dot where at the dollar amount I reached for that month, and then connect the dots so you see that like kind of line graph, so I can see how I'm doing each month and how close I'm getting to my goal. These are the same. This is just for Etsy and this is for YouTube. And then on the back is the same concept, but instead of dollar amounts, it's subscribers. So for the various subscription options we have in the shop, I have different charts just to see what sub options are doing well, and having goals for each one and seeing how well or how close I am to reaching those goals. So yeah, I'm super excited to have these inserts for 2020. I feel like it will keep me more on track and keep me more informed with how I'm doing with the business. And then back here is some blank note paper as I have in each section. And then in the back, I have this planner pocket. Right here, I have some cash here. That is my 6-year-old daughter's Christmas money, and so I keep it separately from my own cash. So every time I go to the store, I know what money is hers to spend. I have our own family spending cash here, some receipts for some returns I have to do, and then like a check in the back. And then in this back pocket, I have some note paper and some stickers that I use for on the go. And then of course I have my handy friction erasable pen here in the champagne gold casing, my favorite pen and the only pen I use in my planner. And that's it. That's my whole flip through of my current setup for 2020. Like I said, in the upcoming videos over the next couple of weeks, I'm gonna fill all these out and explain to you in more detail how I use these inserts. So if you have any specific questions about my planner that you'd like to see, that you want me to go over, leave it in the comments below and I will address those questions in these upcoming videos. So stay tuned for that, and I'll talk to you next time. Bye.